What's up, guys? JHaderade here. Today, we're going to run through my baseball gloves. I'm going to give you some insight on why I chose what I chose, what my favorite patterns are and colors, and then we get to also dive into my 2024 custom glove, and you guys can do it with me.
This guy's something. Just when you think he can't surprise you anymore.
What's up, guys? JHaderade here. All right, so my first glove, I'm going to go with the black crocodile pattern. And baby blue is one of my favorite colors, so I always have a hint of baby blue on my gloves. This year, I went with no exposed hole, so it's just basically a solid back end. And one of those things where I wanted to try something new, get a different style, and this was the one that I came up with that it came out really awesome. It's a 12.25-inch glove. Typically, I like to use larger gloves. This one, I went on the smaller end, but super clean pattern. One of the cool things that I do and Rollins does for me is they put my logo inside the palm. You can do it different ways. You can do a print. You can also do an indentation, or what they call it. You can also do a stamp. So there's different ways that you can put that in there. So this glove, funny story. You know how there's superstitions in baseball? Well, I broke this glove in, got it all perfect and the right way I wanted it to feel. And I used it in a game against the Mets. And I was actually on a pretty good streak. I believe it wasn't even giving up a run. And I remember very vividly giving up a tank with this glove. And after that, I said, all right, you're in retirement now. So that was the last time I used this glove. But yeah, so that was my superstition is, you know, once you change it up and something like that happens, you gotta put it away, just restart. The second glove we're gonna go with, this is my road glove. I add a little bit of gray to it. As before on my other gloves, baby blue is always incorporated into my gloves, and this one came out really awesome. A little bit of different two-tone with the gray and the brown. I like to put the initials of my son and wife on my gloves, so they're always with me chilling. Good vibes while I'm on that mound. This is the stamp that I used. It's the logo. So there's different ways to do that, but Rollins always hooks it up for me, and I appreciate them a ton to, you know, really dive into the customization of these gloves. So my third glove, one of my favorite gloves, the OG. This glove went through a lot. One of my best seasons of my career. I had a thing where I always did the real tree print on the side of my gloves. Also incorporated a little bit of the Milwaukee colors, but not too much. I had the blue with the bone tan, had the bone leather on the glove, give it a little bit of two-tone flair to it. This glove went through a lot that season, but all good stuff. This was the first year where I didn't have my logo. So that following year is when I started putting the logo inside, but we had some great memories with this one. So one of my favorite gloves, hands down. I always put JHaderade on the thumb. It's one of my nicknames that a lot of guys call me. Yeah, so 2021 season, this is the glove I used all year, and this is the year I actually won one of my reliever of the year. So very special glove to me because, you know, I don't really go for the awards, but you know, the hard work that you go through of a long season and to be able to, you know, get that honor, it means a lot. And, you know, to be able to cherish this moment and this glove and tie it all together. You know, every time I look at this glove, this is one of the things that reminds me of that year. So my last glove, this was my most recent glove, 2023. As I said before, baby blue was one of my favorite colors. So I went super two-toned with the baby blue into the tan. I believe this is the Sandlot color. Adds a little bit of nostalgia on the color. Like if you ever remember the classic Rawlings gloves, there was a lot of gloves that used this leather. Reminded me of my childhood a little bit. And this season was one of my best seasons of my career, and a lot of great memories with a lot of great guys playing with the Padres, and this was one I don't think I'll ever forget. Like I said before, I always like to add the initials of Lucas and Maria on there. I script JHaderade on the thumb. This year I actually went with the number. I typically don't do that. I'll just rock the Rollins thumb patch. But I changed it up a little bit, add a little bit 71 maybe in the near future. Maybe I throw the logo there. Let me know what you guys think, if that would look cool. I always have the logo inside the palm. That's one of the coolest things that I started doing. On this glove, I started to go a little bit bigger. Typically, I would go around a 12-inch glove. When you start getting into higher levels, guys are able to see into your glove a little bit easier. So for me, to break that up, I went into a larger glove, 12.5. Gives my hand a lot more room to change grips, to really hide from second base so those guys can't really look into my glove and relay what pitch is coming. So typically on my gloves, I would always go about 12 inches. And once I customized and got into more of understanding that this is a tool for me to hide different pitches and make sure that hitters can't really see my wrist, see my hand, my fingers, this was the time I went 12.5. So it's a little bit bigger glove. It feels a little bit heavier, but once you use it, you really don't even feel the difference. And also for fielding ground balls, it gives you a couple inches to where you can make that snag at the tip of your glove instead of maybe knocking it down or missing it. PFPs are one of the most important things that you can have in this game. It's an extra free out or extra opportunity to get a free out. With that being said, this is my 2023 glove, and now we get to go to the fun part where we move into the 2024 glove. I get to go on to the Rollins.com and get to customize it. And the cool thing about that is I get to tie in different pieces throughout the years into this year. One of the things that I'll probably take away is this two-tone pattern. The cool thing with the customization of Rollins is they allow you to put the two-tone colors in different sections of the fingers. And I'm thinking I might stick with the baby blue this year and maybe add in a little different color brown. So we'll see what happens, but I hope you guys enjoyed the showing and a little bit of history of why I chose these gloves and what they mean to me. And now it's time to have some fun and make the 2024 glove that I'm going to be using in this season. Today I'm customizing my 2024 glove on Rollins.com. And the cool thing with this is that you can get everything right here in real time. You're able to customize the colors, the webbing, the models. There's so much customization that you can do on this website. So if you're, maybe feeling bored and you want to see different styles that you like, you can go on this site and endless opportunity on whatever you want. It's like being a kid again and just letting your mind run free. I actually do this a lot. So that's what kind of gives me my inspiration, is just because I get to see different colors, how they vibe together, and really what I'm feeling at that moment. So for the 2024 camera this year, I'm going to be going with the Heart of the Hide. I like Heart of the Hide just because I can get a little bit more color customization. It's not as quality as a leather, but it's still really good. And the cool thing with customizing with Rollins is they allow me to do Heart of the Hide on the outside of the shell. And on the inside, I like to go with the Pro Preferred. So my palm is always going to have a stiff leather. It's not going to break out of the shape that I like to have it in. And with that, I move into the standard for the wrist. And typically, I like to go with a pitcher style, basically preference. But recently, I've found that I like the outfield just because I'm with a larger glove. And with that, I go with 12.5, and I've been using this JD8 model, one of the deepest and widest pockets of any of the outfield patterns they have. And like I said before, the more space you have in your glove, you're able to move around, change your grips, and not give too much notice that you're doing that to the hitter or to the guy at second base. So that's one of the biggest things I like to look for. I don't like to give hitters or any other team an advantage to know really what's going to be coming. With that, I'm going to move it to the left-handed throw. Obviously, I'm not much of a righty, so we'll move to that. And with this one, I'm going to switch it up just because this option doesn't give me that many web designs. So what I like to do is just get that model, and then in here I'll use a different model glove just so I can customize it and get it to exactly how I want. But when I go to Stevie, I just let him know that I'm going to use the JD8 model, and that tells him the type of pocket and everything that I like to use. Yeah, for me, the biggest thing is the preference of the glove and the model is just something that I like to feel. Over time, I've played with different models, different shapes, colors, and just started to really find out what feels good in my hand and really what I like on the mound. Now moving on, we're gonna choose the web. I like this vertical hinge. I used to really be a big fan of this two-piece solid, but over time, the way that this vertical hinge broke in, I was just a lot of consistency. And as you know, if you take pride in having a good quality glove, you have to keep the form. So anything to keep that. Moving on, we're gonna go with the color. This is why I really like this Citus, because you can see exactly what you're getting when you pick the color. I really enjoy the tans. I think I might go with the golden brown this year. Keep the normal patch. So the shell back, I like straight leather. That way you can get two different colors. And with this one, I will go with the baby blue shell palm. I'm going to follow that with shell palm. I'm going to go with the golden brown. Laces, I might throw in a little bit of orange for all my Houston fans out there. Because, baby, we in here. We in here. I think I'm going to go with orange laces. Add a little bit of Houston vibes to this one. And with the heel, I may go with the blue. See how that looks. The real cool thing about this is that you can pick out things, and if you don't like it, you just go back and change it. So you can really piece together your gloves. The lining, I always typically do the shell color, and that's what's inside. The welting, with this one, it's basically what holds the two sides together. See what a navy looks like. So with the trim is what I spoke about earlier on when I was going through my 2023 glove, is that they give you a little bit more customization on how you want this colors to line up. So they give you different parts of the glove to put it. So on this one, number 5 gives you pretty much one side of the glove is a tan, and the other side is, which mine would be the blue color. I think this year, I kind of like this pinky stripe. I think that adds a little flow to it. Most of it's going to be a baby blue color glove. We'll see how that goes. The trim, we're going to go with the golden brown, kind of stay with that vibe. The stitching, I'm going to stay with the orange, kind of give that a little bit more of a pop. Stamping, I like to do indent always, just because when you do the colors, when you start getting into a lot of catch play and the ball tends to rub that off a little bit, so I like to make sure that that logo is staying on there for good. The finger pad, I like to do my finger pad on the middle finger. A lot of people put theirs on their pointer finger. I like to move it over just because I go 2 in the pink. Allows that pocket to form a little bit bigger, and it gives me a better squeeze on the glove. So if I'm doing something really quick to grab a ball or whatnot, I'm able to get that closed and have a lot of force with that. So I like to do that, and I'm gonna do the trim color. No hood, not a big fan of the hood. So move that over to the middle finger. Palm pad, always love the extra cushion, especially when you got guys throwing 100 miles per hour in catch play. Gotta make sure you're not blowing your hand up, because that's a real thing. Break in, I like to do firm. Like I said, I really enjoy having a stiff glove, something that can hold the integrity of the pocket, the way I break it in. So having it form, it allows me to break it in the way I like it. If you have it too soft, you can't really customize the pocket. You can't customize how you're closing it as much. It will be easier to pick up the glove, play catch, and just roll with it. And with this, we're gonna go into the customization of the names. I'm gonna do orange and have a little bit of script font, and that will have my number on the thumb, 71. That's gonna be orange. My logo won't have the logo. Thumb, I will put JHaderade. That's my nickname. That's what I like to put on all my gloves. JHaderade. And then on the pinky, put the initials of Lucas and Maria. And that's it. That's gonna be my 2024 glove. Blue, navy blue, baby blue, brown, and orange. It's all over the place, but I really like this vibe. So this will be my 2024 glove. Thanks for customizing it with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once I get this glove, I'm gonna put a little reveal video together for you guys. So stay tuned. Until the next one, take care.